Nick Wright, head host of the FS1 show, First Things First, will be going through with Chris Broussard and a guest in regards to Jayson Tatum, where he's at if he's a superstar, all-star, as well as return to Orlando, and how he's performed the last couple of games with the regular season. Jayson Tatum has taken the league by storm with the Boston Celtics. We've seen to wherever Kyrie Irving was hurt a couple times within the 28 NBA season. 2018 NBA season that the Celtics were able to go to the conference finals to a Game 7, losing to LeBron James in his greatness with a bunch of Jordan Clarksons on the team. The next following season, Tatum took a little bit of a dip because you had Kyrie and Gordon Hayward pretty much trying to dictate the offense, as well as they were very forced in that situation. And with the departure of Kyrie Irving, Jayson Tatum has actually emerged even better than his first season into a first-time All-Star. Huge kudos and congrats to him. And with the last around 10 to 15 games of the season, he was averaging close to 30, over 40% from three, as well as around 45 to 50% field goal range. Usually he's been, before in the past, a year or two ago, he was training with the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. And with Kobe Bryant training, it's more mentality as well as how to get your shot off. So Jayson Tatum's more of an isolated player. He'll kick you off the dribble, hit a mid-range jumper in your face. Usually that type of playing style is very inconsistent. But Jayson Tatum, I'll give him credit. He's been picking it up into where he's becoming more of a consistent scorer. In the past, I didn't really see that to be the case. But I'm taking him more seriously, especially for this season. But yeah, these two are going to go in, talk about more about Jayson Tatum, and then I'll give my take whenever it comes to here.
Well, I think it's only upside for him. I don't think, there's anything. He's risking the max extension. Danny Ainge is going to offer that to him the moment he's eligible for it, and he's earned it. But, we talked about this a week and a half ago. Guys with the most to gain. If the Celtics were to somehow win the title, then you all of a sudden look at Jayson Tatum. He leaps over Luka.
Wait, hold on real quickly. So players with the most to gain from NBA championship. I had a video over this like around a week ago. Nick Wright put LeBron at 8 because he's trying to push this narrative and propaganda that LeBron's the GOAT. That's why he doesn't need this title. I already went that over. LeBron's the number one most to gain from this championship because he's trying to chase quote-unquote GOAT status. It doesn't really matter with the rest of these other players. It would be great for James Harden, put him in a different class. I would push him to the third best shooting guard of all time over Dwayne Wade, if that is the case. Nothing too big, but yeah, I'm going to skip over most of this. It doesn't really pertain to a serious conversation.
Joel Embiid, even the other great young stars of the league, and say, oh, he's next. In fact, he's now. I would argue if the Celtics even just make the finals, he leaps over some of those guys. Now, I don't think any of that's going to happen. But yeah, Wilds, if your beloved hometown or general vicinity Celtics somehow win the East, much less win the title, then he gets in that superstar conversation, not just the star conversation that you think he's already in.
Well, two things. First of all, Jayson Tatum is not a superstar. People throw around that term way too often, which is actually a detriment, and it's not good. There's around 5 to 6 superstars in the league, maybe 4, going from LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. That's why I have on my Mount Rushmore of superstars. And then you do have around Giannis and James Harden kind of bubbling from there in an all-star, or from a superstar and a star. The reason why I don't have James Harden and Giannis 100% in that class with them, that tier, is because they've had success in the regular season with their MVPs. They've gone to conference finals, but they never led their team to a championship, let alone a finals appearance. I think with Giannis, I'll change my case if he makes the finals this season. I expect him to. With Harden, that is not the case. But I'll credit James Harden. He did go against the Golden State Warriors 4 out of 5 seasons. So, I don't have a problem if you put James Harden in that superstar class. In the regular season, Giannis and Harden have always been superstars. But I'm talking about, through their whole tenure. And this is including the playoffs, including the finals. And that's just a different level whenever you think about it. But regular season, yeah. With Jayson Tatum, He's not a superstar. I don't have him as a star player. I actually have him as an all-star. So let me reframe to what I'm saying. I have different tiers. So number one, you have superstars, which I listed around those 4 to 6. Next, after superstar, you have star players. These could be like a Russell Westbrook, a Damian Lillard, a Paul George, people in that class. After that, or before that, underneath, I do have all-stars. So these are pretty much the younger cats to where they made their first, second, or third all-star appearance, and they haven't really led the gap as a star, because star players are guys who are number one options, franchise players. They usually, of course, they'll take your team to the playoffs, but they'll lose in the first, second round, somewhere around in that mix. So whenever it comes to all-star classes, you're going to have Pascal Siakam, younger cats like Trae Young. You're also going to have Jayson Tatum in that mix. But give Jayson Tatum around another year or two, and I'll put him as a star, especially if he makes the Eastern Conference Finals with this team, as well as with the Bucks and Raptors in the way.
And just you nailed it, Nick, because that's how I do refer to them. I refer to the Celtics as the general vicinity Celtics of just New Englandish, Westchesterish area. It's like when.
Oh, real quickly, second part to that point, no, the Boston Celtics are not going to win the championship, let alone get to the finals. Listen, they're going to play in Orlando. It's going to be kind of like summer league games without any fans. That could be a difference in a couple matchups, plus as well as it's a different location. There's really no home court, as well as different teams may have people in different shape. We don't know by June 24th if certain players aren't going to play. So I'm just kind of basing standing alone from this. If it were just like the normal season. No, I expect actually the Raptors to beat the Celtics in Game 7 of the second round. But who knows? The Celtics are a dark horse that they can come out of the East. They're my third option too. But, it wouldn't surprise me if they get to the conference finals. It would, be a huge accomplishment for them. But if they were to get to the finals and beat the Bucks, I would give my hats off to Jayson Tatum.
When you're searching for something on eBay, you put the radius at 500 miles. Let's see if anything pops up. I need to pick up some stuff. All right, anyway, the momentum, Broussard, is what I'm interested in. Don't remember, it's been a long time, but Jayson Tatum was on that crazy tear. He was 29.5 points, almost 8 rebounds, shooting great, 5th in the league for shooting. I'm really interested to see if this restart, we get the old Tatum or we get this new and improved Tatum.
Those stats right there, that's amazing to see for Jayson Tatum. He's been inconsistent throughout his first or second year. He's had those great spurts. Everyone saw stardom into him, but it's great to see to where he's consistent, 30, 40, 45%. Shooting. That's really great to see in his third season.
We do get the new and improved Tatum. I can't wait till we see the Nick tiers. America's favorite Nick tier, and how high Tatum can rise.
I'm not sure if he's a star yet in Nick's eyes. Is that Nick? I heard him say, "Wilds, you consider him already a star." Does that mean you don't, Nick?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, he's
unbelievable.
Yeah, listen.
He's not a star
we can show it real quick. Hold on, we can show it real quick, and then let's just show it. Let's just show, maybe one day.
Okay, so Nick Wright, supposedly here, he has his different tiers. I already gave mine before this. Listen, Jayson Tatum is a definite all-star. He's bubbling very close to a star player. We can't throw around star and superstars very lightly. A lot of people do in the NBA. There's not a lot of superstars. There's a few stars, and then there's all-stars. Those 3 tiers, right below all-star, you're going to have starters. Right before starters, you're going to have pretty much like 6 men. Before 6 men, you're going to have role players. Before them are bench warmers. So let's see Nick Wright. So he has LeBron. He has Steph Curry, KD, and Kawhi Leonard, which I agree with those 4. He has put Giannis and James Harden. I'm not mad about that. I wouldn't put Harden and Giannis there because they haven't won championships, let alone led their teams to finals. I think that's pretty disrespectful to the Mount Rushmore of who I already put. No, Anthony Davis does. AD does not belong in that number 1 tier. No way, no how. AD as a number 1 option, he only led his team to the playoffs 2 times and a second round appearance. AD as a number 2 option with LeBron, Yeah, he puts up great stats. LeBron's more of an impact player. AD's just the sprinkles on top. Very dominant as well, but no, AD should be moved down to the star player tier, not a superstar. Let's see here. They have the Rust tier as well as the stars. So I agree with it. As I was saying before, PG, Dame Lillard, Russell Westbrook, Klay Thompson. Yeah, he's one of the greatest shooters of all time. Jokic, Joel Embiid, Luka, of course. Zion. No, I'm not putting Zion in that tier as of right now. I know he only missed around 30 to 40 games in the regular season, came back dominating, but it's not enough time to put him in that tier. I would put actually Zion in between a bubble of an all-star. As of right now, I just need more time, more evidence to prove that when it comes to Zion Williamson. But I'm not mad. Well, actually, I am pretty mad that they put him in the second tier. If they put him in the Tatum tier, then I'm fine with that. So with Jayson Tatum, so they put him with Pascal, Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. These are guys who have been all-stars, and that's what the all-stars are about. So I'm just looking at the list. Nothing really bats my eye. You can put Jimmy Butler in the Rust tier because he has had playoff experience being a number one option. Same thing with Chris Paul if you wanted to, but CP3's kind of, he's kind of regressing a little bit, even though he led his team to the playoffs, which is an amazing feature. Nothing to bet my eye on too much on there, but yeah, Jayson Tatum is floating around an all-star as well as very close to being a quote-unquote star player. If he makes the conference finals, let alone the finals, he's definitely going to be a star. If he wins the championship, a superstar for sure.
There's the tiers. I know you're going to take issue with Zion. Aside from Zion, who we can argue about, who on the two tiers above him are better than him? The answer is nobody. You can't have more than 15 stars in the league. That's in the official bylaws. So he's not a star yet. Sorry, I didn't make the rules. I just abide by them. Bruce.
Listen, Kyrie Irving is just not an all-star. Kyrie Irving is a star player. He's proven that throughout his career. He does not belong in that Tatum tier. Who else? Yeah, I would put Jimmy Butler with the Rust tier. And then when it comes to that, well, Jimmy Butler is more on the bubble, the Rust tier. He's kind of here or there. He's not a true number one option. He'll get you to the first or second round, but yeah, I'm probably fine with him being on the all-star, bubbling close to a star. Siakam, yeah, it was his first all-star appearance. Cool with him there. Tatum, he did go to the conference finals, let alone a second round. But when it came to his second season, he wasn't the best player. Kyrie was, quote unquote. But Tatum being the best player in this first season, he did take him to Game 7 in the conference finals. So that's heavily in consideration. I want to see how these playoffs play out
You can
for Tatum.
your time here. I apologize.
You didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules.
Nick, they have
You made
this
the
thing
tiers.
this season. They have this thing in the middle of the season called the All-Star Game, and I think he's played in that. He's a star. There's at least 24 stars. He's one of them, and he's en route as well.
No, based on my tiers, there's 24 all-stars. There's not 24 stars. There's 3 different tiers: all-star, then you have a star, then there's a superstar, Mr. Broussard.
Being a superstar. I do agree with you, Nick, in that he's essentially playing with house money this season, because even though they're recognized as a contender, no one really thinks they're going to get to the finals or certainly win it. But hey, with this restart, Jay Tatum is very much a professional. So are the other players on that team. I bet they come back in better shape, better prepared than most teams. And so they have a shot. And Tatum's proven that he can handle the big stage. When he first got to the playoffs 2 years ago, played well even against LeBron. So I expect big things from Jay Tatum. And if the Celtics somehow do get to the finals, Nick, you're right. He emerges as right there on the cusp of being a superstar.
Listen, I want to make sure cats understand what I'm saying about Jayson Tatum is an all-star. I'll put him in that class. He's not too far away from being a star. This is his third season. I do have Luka Doncic as a star and overpassing an all-star based on his impact with the Dallas Mavericks, as well as he was top 3 in the MVP race within this year, and he's top 5 as of right now. Jayson Tatum's not in the top 5 conversation as of right now. Tatum's probably more like top 7. Yeah, I have Luka as the star. Jayson Tatum's very close to being there, but we've seen his progression. I really have my eye on him to where, after these playoffs, I would probably have to make him a star player, considering, if they get bounced in the first round, no. If they get bounced in the second round by the Raptors by a good margin, no. If he goes to Game 7 with the Raptors and they lose, I would still put him in the bubble. If he makes the conference finals, that would be 2 out of 3 seasons being a number 1 option. Or pretty much 2 out of 2 seasons being the number 1 option, making the conference finals. So yeah, I would make him a star player when it comes to that situation, if so. But overall, Jayson Tatum, is he an all-star? Is he a star or superstar? You tell me.